Raise your hand if you have ever received negative feedback. Now, keep your hand up if you liked it. Right. All of us hear criticism from time to time. But if we're honest, few of us like it. Certainly, accepting criticism is a tough thing to do. Where this can be a problem is when we respond poorly to hearing criticism. If we get defensive or lash out at the person who criticizes us, and especially if that person is our spouse or our partner, will damage our relationship with them. Our strong reactions may even cross over into the realm of domestic violence or abuse, which is particularly troublesome. For those of us working to stop this kind of hurtful behavior, how we handle criticism is an important subject. Hi, I'm Michael Clark with the Ananias Foundation, and in this video, we're going to talk about handling criticism well. If you want to stop causing harm in your relationships, you're on the right path. This is Journey of Change, a video series to help you become the safe, loving partner you were meant to be. If you're someone who is easily upset when you're criticized, and this is something you want to change, where do you start? A good place for us to begin is to figure out why we're reacting so strongly to another person's disapproval. Here, it's useful to learn from people who are good at taking negative feedback. You probably know someone like this. They seem to take even harsh appraisals in stride without being affected by it much. How do they do it? There's a strong relationship between a person's capacity for accepting criticism and how positively they think about themselves. Now, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about a solid internal sense of our own value. While we all want to be liked, we can have an excessive need for others' approval. So much so that people's complaints about us can shake our sense of self-worth. We might not be aware that we're linking criticism to our self-esteem, but when we do, even subconsciously, we tend to react to that criticism like we're fighting for our lives. Associating negative feedback to our personal value is flawed thinking. And there's no reason for us to go there. People who handle criticism well don't make this link between negative comments and their sense of value. In other words, they don't take criticism personally. So, how should we think about criticism? Well, we can think of it as a gift, not as punishment. We all have blind spots, especially when it comes to seeing ourselves objectively. Feedback gives us a much clearer picture of who we are and what we can do to get better. Our relationships, career, really all aspects of our life will flourish when we open ourselves up to feedback and criticism. On the other hand, resisting criticism keeps us from improving. Most criticism is intended to help a person get better. If we push back on it, we'll soon stop receiving valuable input from others because they'll want to avoid our reactions. Accepting criticism is especially important in our intimate relationships. When we listen and respond well to criticism from our partner, we signal to them that we care about their concerns. As a result, they're more likely to trust us because they know we listened to them and we allowed ourselves to be influenced by them. On the other hand, if we resist that negative feedback, it sends the message to our partner that they can never question our motives or judgment. we lose our chance to gain their support and cooperation because we lose their respect. A note here for those of us who are parents. Demonstrating our ability to hear and respond well to criticism shows our kids how to be coachable. Ultimately, this helps them develop their skills and abilities. I want to acknowledge that it's easier to accept criticism when it's mild and fair. However, not everyone around us, including our partner, will be diplomatic. Sometimes we get broadsided by harsh criticism and attacked with an unfair putdown. The same principle about holding on to our internal sense of value applies here. We just have to hold on a little bit tighter. Here's how we can think about these situations. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. However, just because someone shares negative opinion of us does not mean we have to believe them. Just like if a stranger comes up to me and tells me that I have purple hair, you can see that I don't. It doesn't make their statement true. The same holds for harsh and unfair criticism. Just because it's said doesn't mean that it's true. If it's not true, then we don't need to correct them or stop them from saying so. We know the truth, and it's the person who said that outlandish statement who looks ridiculous. Nothing about our value has changed, so there's no need to defend our honor or our reputation. If you'd like to increase your capacity for accepting criticism, here are some exercises that will help. Ask for feedback. Sometimes people worry that asking for feedback makes them look weak or incompetent. In fact, the opposite is true. It makes a person appear confident and shows their willingness to improve. Asking for feedback also has the benefit of allowing you to prepare for what you'll hear. You're less likely to be blindsided by it later. Think in advance about the benefits you'll receive. Remind yourself that criticism does not diminish your self-worth. Approaching feedback with that mindset will help you be less defensive. Here's a second way. Accept what you hear. What do I mean by that? When receiving feedback, think in terms of accepting what you will hear, which is different than agreeing with what you hear. If you don't agree with their evaluation, you can simply thank them and tell them you're going to think about what they said. Accepting gives you time to process the criticism and give it a fair evaluation. Don't just give it lip service either, but really reflect on their message after your strong emotions have had a chance to drain away. Then, you may conclude their criticism was all wrong and their feedback useless. Okay. On the other hand, you may have disagreed initially, but now decide they're partly or even mostly right. A third thing you can do, act on it. To the extent that you want to make changes, tell the person who gave you the feedback what you're going to do, and then follow through and do it. Whoever gave you the feedback may become one of your biggest encouragers when they see that you're acting on their suggestions. Finally, build your self-esteem. In the long term, building a strong sense of your own value makes hearing negative feedback easier. The better we feel about ourselves, the less we feel the need to defend ourselves or stop criticism. I'm Michael Clark with the Ananias Foundation, and I hope you found this discussion about receiving criticism to be helpful. Take care, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for joining me today. I'm honored to be on this journey of change with you, and I hope I've helped you in some way. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to hit the like button, share this with others who might find it helpful, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. For more resources, head to our website, ananiasfoundation.org. Until next time, take care and remember, change is possible.